Apple's drop was expected. Didn't you see it coming? Stock and options trading carries a high level of risk and can result in the loss of all of your investment. As such, options trading may not be suitable for all investors. You should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. RJTICharts.com is an algorithmic-driven firm that utilizes such methodologies to help us identify buy, sell signals for any stocks, ETFs, futures, forex, crypto markets. Our market experience is well over 40 years. Our information provided on this video is for information purposes only and to highlight our methodology. And if one decides to act on such trading signals, you are doing so at your own risk. We aren't giving you investment advice. If you've been following us, then you aren't surprised that Apple stock value is tracking lower, for we've sent out smoke signals some time ago. Let's examine our warnings. A bearish signal for this great company, Apple. There may be many buyers who entered above the $134 trade level and may be feeling unhappy if they are still holding on to trade for the last 3 pops that Apple has exhibited in the last couple of years. Unhappiness also might be feelings many prominent fund managers, TV gurus are also experiencing, especially if they didn't see Apple's fall unfolding lower. We initially warned on December the 3rd, 2021 at 7:55 a.m. We wrote, RJTI charts versus Apple. A trouble awaits. We expressed our concerns as follow. Well, if you listen to Jim Cramer or others to buy Apple at these levels, then we say may the forces be with you and may your success be unlimited. But for us, we think we know and see some things that cause us to sit straight up in the chair and say, whoa. You see, we've identified that much lower levels are coming for Apple. And yes, we will be able to buy this great company much lower. The question is how much lower? As much as we don't want to tell you, we are, so that our projections are documented again to show we have, in our opinion, great foresight. Our levels for Apple begin at a target of $146 and targets of $131. $120 are targets considerations too. Now, in some of our commentaries, we talked about Apple to trade under $100. And although we aren't scooting away from this ideal as a potential, we will focus on the higher numbers first, and if we see more trouble developing with the unfolding for Apple, then we will simply write again. Where was Apple trading at on 12/3/21? It closed at $161.84 per share on 12/3/21. Yet it appeared our assessment was wrong for Apple, for it rose another $20 per share, but our algorithms didn't agree with the further rally and told us to stick to our guns. So we sent out another warning 10 days later. On December the 13th, 2021 at 9:42 a.m., the content of this message: RJTI charts versus 7 months window, 12/7/2021. Yet, in our Apple commentary sent out just recently, we described the trouble coming for Apple and what Apple had to do to have a saving grace effect from our expected decline at this time. And it was a rally up to $190 a share and to close there at such level. Well, looks like after some comments released that the Omicron variant only causes minor sickness is one of the catalysts to help Apple and the market in general find its footings as it proceeds to rally more. But for all of its press higher, we again needed to see those $190 closes. One would think it to be inconceivable that Apple could still trade under $140. And yes, we understood why such an outlook is against this potential demise. But we aren't walking away from this. And like the 3 times before, when we accurately projected similar demises for Apple and the markets in general, our algorithms did not fail us. What we see is a systematic drop coming. $190 closes did not occur. We'll stick to our guns. On December the 13th, 21, Apple had a high of $182.13 and it closed at $175.74. Now, this is where things start to get interesting and exhibit the power of our algorithms. On December 29th, 2021 at 7:56 a.m., we wrote, RJTI charts verse, although they work to control Apple, they just don't know yet. We showed our ability to go against. The list compiled below is from NASDAQ reporting the top 10 shareholders of Apple and other large holders. They are some of the smartest people on this earth when it comes to investing. Who can argue with Warren Buffett's 60 years of superb performance, or BlackRock's Inc. $9.5 trillion under management as of October 2021, or Vanguard Group Inc., which is premier and is the 4th largest holder of Apple. State Street Corp is another of the wisest investment companies out there. There are many other ranking large holders of Apple who have groups of analysts that are not only keen, but are an inspiration to their company's positive outlook for Apple, like Merrill Lynch, Nuveen, Northern Trust, to name a few more. So, one would have to be crazy to think that these fine companies and some of the largest in the industry wouldn't have a handle on Apple, especially since they control a large portion of Apple shares and easily capable of rubbing shoulders with Tim Cook, the president of Apple Inc. List: Vanguard, BlackRock, Berkshire, State Street Corp, FMR, Giardin, Northern Trust, Price T. Rowe, Norges, Bank of New York Mellon, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, J.P. Morgan Chase, Legal & General, Nuveen. Yet, RJTI charts went on to project. But here we are to tell you that for all it's worth is that all of these large shareholders just don't know what's coming. They can't see, for it's not available from the identifying of such based on intentions of a company's earnings reports. It isn't something from a normal summation from evaluating the worth of a company, but it is the unforeseen of an event to to occur that one must be able to adjust to. And for all it's worth, we just strongly don't believe that these gigantic or bandwagon riders of Apple have the tools in their chest drawer to see what we see and what is to come. 12/29/21 against giant Apple holders. RJTICharts.com. Our algorithms simply say that Apple and the market in general are to face some very turbulent times, and Apple is to be a minimum of 18% lower from any high made, and the door is cracked open that as much as 40% could be shaved. So we thank you in advance for allowing us to exercise our stupidity in projecting something that is so outlandish in the minds of giants and Apple lovers. Well, 12/29/21, we said it. Apple dropped 16%, down to 150. But after Apple hit a low of $150.10 per share, it rallied hard, as well as the Dow. Most felt the market had bottomed and ran in to scoop up Apple, which had fallen exactly the minimum 16% from my expectations forecasted on 12/29/21. Yet by March 30, 2022, Apple had rallied back up near the $178 to $179 range. But there were two things we projected. On March the 21st, 2022, at 3:55 p.m., we sent out RJTI charts verse at least a 700 points decline, but more than likely, we see a 1,000 points decline coming for the Dow Jones Composite. We wrote, why do so many not understand that to dress a pig in green still means that when taken to the slaughterhouse, spills out red? It appears that money managers and bottom pickers feel that the bottom is in, and one should continue to add on from the rally that commenced the week of 3/14/2022. We completely understand that these are some of the smartest investors on the street, and if they see fit to buy, it must be because they understand the dynamics that are at hand. So you must give accolades to the wise and the committed who take on actions to follow their convictions, especially those who just think that Apple's downside is over with. But that's another story. Our reason for this message is to document that we are calling for a 1,000 points drop for the Dow, and more so tell you that you will see a 1,000 points drop occur. We expect the market to present a rosy picture maybe over the next 2 days or so, but when the wind is no longer behind the sails, expect a return lower of 1,000 points for the Dow. And then we sent out on 3/29/22. RJTI charts versus. What isn't a surprise is the bear rally. What will be to money managers a surprise is what happens next. In the words of the Lone Ranger, hi-yo silver away. Here's what we are to tell you now. We went through several points, but at the end there, Netflix, Facebook, Google, Apple's rally will evaporate, and maybe the leaders down. So on 3/21, we told you so. On 3/29, we told you so. Next, Apple dropped 27%, all the way down to $129.04 low. Sidebar, also, our 100 points call, 1,000 points call led to this. The Dow Jones didn't fall 1,000. It fell 5,692 points and 71 cents. After Apple hit the low of $129.04 a share, the bulls ran back in with a vengeance. And in the month of August, year 2022, Apple pressed higher to $176.15 a share. But that didn't matter to us, for we maintained that only closes at or above $190 a share could change things for the good. In other words, this was a great bear rally. So, we messaged again what this rally was taking place on 8/5/22. Subject: RJTI charts. Verse: forcing a square in a circle, a house in a hut. We went on to say during the August rally, maybe it's possible to take a square and force it into a circle. Maybe you can take a 3,000 square foot house and fit it into a 30 square foot hut. Anything is possible, right? Well, if you agree with these concepts, then it's simply a physics, a task we just don't know about. And we can only conclude that your position is unrealistic. Yet there are many out there who ignore the norms of life and the norms in general. Simply put, many create their own reality, and unfortunately, many fund managers, financial gurus, TV financial contributors, and other bullish projecting personalities can fall victim to such creativity too. Whether it's Warren Buffett, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, BlackRock, or Jim Cramer, etc., can always find a way to create their reality as to why the market should move higher, and even go as far as to pour in to help push the markets higher. Let us pause and say we just don't care what Warren Buffett, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, BlackRock, Cramer is doing. And the buzz currently as the markets rally, especially companies like Apple, the creation that such is correct. Yet we say from our algorithms is nonsensical. And it's just a matter of time that redemption will knock at the bull's door for trying to manufacture a rally based on what? In conclusion, our algorithms lead us and afford us the opportunity to either dance with consensus or against Wall Street's outlook. On September the 7th, 2022, we sent out, messaged RJTI charts versus Apple versus our algorithms. The excitement over today's soon-to-be revealed new products from Apple is upon us 9/7/22. The stock market has positioned itself to ride off of a positive tone from Apple, especially if euphoria is created to accent Apple's new products. Yet, what does the future hold for Apple, and a matter of fact for the technology sector in general? It's a guess as always, right? But there are ways to increase the projection of hypothesis. And one way to do it is through the utilization of measuring tools. Ours just happen to be our algorithms. Our algorithms say that short-term gains for Apple today or tomorrow will evaporate. And we maintained at first $150 is to trade, and lower levels are also not out of the question to trade. The $139, $133, and even $125 trade levels isn't out of the question for starters. But yes, a bounce could occur first. According to our algorithms, the overall markets must trade lower, and any postponement will cause an even greater move lower than what is already embedded. We still contend, as we've projected in other messages, that the July 2022 lows are to be retested, but more than likely taken out. Since last year, 12/3/21, we've advocated that Apple was to fall 18 to 40% and also to retest its July lows made in the year 2022. Apple never surpassed or closed with rallies as it tried to muster, yet failed to close above the $190 mark. And such failures continue to inspire us that our algorithms were right in their assessment. Apple was heavy and continues to press lower. Maybe it was fair for RJTICHARTS to project $125 to trade, if not lower, from a year ago. To contact us, info@rjticharts.com, 888-521-3555.